Hi, today's episode is brought to you by our good friend and sponsor, Brian Miller, over at United Real Estate Chicago, the only realtor John and I trust when buying or selling a home. Links in the description below.
Are you thinking about buying or selling a home? Or maybe you just have questions about the real estate market. Hi, I'm Brian Miller, and I'm a licensed real estate professional serving the Chicagoland area. People know to call me when they need a problem solved. Through research, troubleshooting, and asking the right questions, there isn't an issue that we can't overcome together. If you're buying, I'll help you find the home that fits your wants and needs. If you're ready to sell, my goal is to get your home in front of the masses and do everything it takes to net you the most money. Since entering the industry in 2014, I've experienced navigating various types of markets, as well as assisting clients with short sales, probates, and selling homes that have been sitting on the market. In other words, if you want to work with an award-winning real estate agent, make the process as easy and stress-free as possible, you've come to the right place. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm Brian Miller, and I can't wait to connect with you.
Hey, welcome to IMO, in my opinion, with Don. You look different today.
Just a little bit.
You
Sorry.
slimmed down.
He's
you got
cutting.
shredded. You got a beard, an actual beard.
Yeah, I
and,
put away the glasses, contacts today.
and a little less hair. It's a little darker. You look like you got a tan.
Appreciate you having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan is not here. He had to work and pay some bills, so I called a friend, Norman. How are you, buddy? It's been a long time, man.
Doing great. You look good. You look good.
Thank you, sir. You look in shape, and I'm kind of pissed about that, but that's okay. That's all right. I'm gonna have to start training. How you been, man?
Good. Being a dad, coaching, watching your show. I
appreciate that.
Really vibe with the intro music.
I'm actually thinking about changing it. I think I need a new one. I need a refresh. But we'll in the next season after the break, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Real quick before we introduce our guest, since we do have technically another guest here with us. Norman, you have your own podcast too, right? Or you're producing podcasts in the whole 9 yards?
Yeah, producing podcasts. Fell in love with.
You can lift that mic up if you need to a little bit, just in case.
Sorry, John. You're a little.
John's a little short guy. We love him though. Continue. So you got a little podcast going on.
Yeah, producing a couple shows. Just have a new project starting up with Loop Theory and Private Stock as far as giving out game behind the scenes to the music industry for a couple labels in Chicago. It's pretty dope. I'm having fun with it. This is a lot of fun.
I watched a few of them. I will say you are a hell of a lot more ahead of the game than I was when I started doing this crap. Like your quality and your sound is a lot better than when I started this thing. So I commend you for.
Appreciate you. I commend you, YouTube, for all the tutorials.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. What do I call this? University of YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you learn everything here. You learn everything. Why go to college? Why? You just go to YouTube. It's free. We have another guest here with us today, an actor. He's going to be in a play that's going to debut pretty soon. I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Faiz Siddique. I'm an actor right here in Chicago. I feel like everyone else here has like, I'm an actor, I'm a producer, do you write? Either of you write?
I have. I mean, I don't write well.
I proofread.
You proofread? I need one of those too.
Proofread.
I need one of those too. Oh, you guys are going to be my best friends because I
got you.
I'm still writing you with the letter U. I understand. It's all that matters. Okay. So you're an actor.
So none of that. Just actor.
Just actor.
Just trying to manage that one little thing.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier to wear one hat than to wear a bunch of them. To be honest. So you're going to be in a play.
Yes.
It's going to open up pretty soon.
Yeah. It's called
HateFuck.
It's with First Floor Theater. It's going to be at the Den on Milwaukee Avenue.
Milwaukee and what?
God, I don't even know. It's like in the middle of Milwaukee. Like right over in
like the state, like the city of Milwaukee.
Milwaukee Avenue.
Oh, Avenue. Milwaukee's one of the longest roads in the city.
That's what I'm saying. Like I thought you were asking about like an intersection. I'm like, bro, I don't know.
You got to give me something close. What's close by it? Something major. Wrigley, is it in that vicinity over there? Because Milwaukee is like the worst street because Milwaukee literally runs diagonal through the entire city. Right? Am I right? Milwaukee's pretty long.
That's it.
Milwaukee's pretty long.
It's that Milwaukee, yeah.
Okay, we'll figure it out. I think he's gonna go. You Googled it?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up for you.
You got
it's in Wicker Park.
You got
You know what?
jewel.
John,
This is why we need John.
I think I'm gonna give you a 2-week notice. I'll leave it on your desk upstairs. Norman, you're hired. Norman's already on it. He's Googling shit. I like
What's
it.
there?
Yeah, so it's right by Division, Milwaukee.
Oh, so by the whole bar crowd over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Not too
nothing
far,
else
yeah.
though, right?
Oh, okay. Cool. So tell us about that process. How'd you get it? How was your auditioning going? Was it through your agency? Did you just find it on your own?
I want to say I found it through theaterinchicago.com, right? So like that's where most auditions for theaters are going to be. And I just sent in a self-tape for this, which I love self-tapes now.
Really?
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
I love them now.
Go ahead.
But so we went in and did that, and I just remember reading like just one little scene from it, and there was like this monologue this girl has that she says to me, to my character, and I'm like, I looked at my friend where I was like at the kitchen table reading this. And I looked at my friend, I'm like, right away, this is mine. I got this.
And you bagged it.
And I did. And if I didn't, I would have looked stupid as hell. But
No.
but I was like, yo, this is in some world. This is me. I got this in the bag.
Isn't that like the best feeling when the role like perfectly fits you? I feel like that's the most awesome. The easy, not I want to say easy because none of it's easy, but like the one you don't have to think too much about.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
It was scary. Like my understudy was saying the other day, he's like, so your name is Faiz Siddique and the character's name is Imran Siddique. Like you were just
What are the
born
chances
to play.
of that? What are the
It was
chances
just
of
weird.
that?
Yeah.
Holy
But
crap.
It worked out. But yeah. So we did that. We got called in off this self-tape. And then, oh my God, this got probably the best audition experience I ever had. So do you know Black Box Acting?
Yeah,
Like the
I went
studio?
there. I went there.
You love it?
I'll tell you what. It's a theater school.
So no.
No. I'm not a theater actor.
Okay.
I don't think I'm ever going to be. That school, when I was there, didn't really have on-camera stuff. They did a lot of theater, which I don't mind doing it, but theater to me is different than film. It's more, theater is very dramatic, very physical as compared to film is very here. You know, it's a lack of movement versus more movement.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. And Black Box was very theater-ish vibe.
Yeah.
Which is good for people who like theater. I took a class. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I learned a few things.
Okay.
Never went back though because it wasn't like it wasn't where I wanted to be.
You did like level 1.
Yes,
kind of
I
thing,
did
right?
level 1.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Did you go to Black Box? Did you enjoy that?
I did level 1 there, and I felt the same way. I was like, you know what? I think where I'm at, maybe I just can't really appreciate this yet.
Okay.
That's just how I felt. Like I was like, I don't know if it's just too intense, if it's just too, but over time I appreciate it so much more. And I think that's the thing. That's the beauty of training. Also, is like, I mean, there's Vagabond, there's Acting Studio. Like you can go everywhere and steal like one little thing and put in your toolbox from everywhere.
Steal from everybody.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like
those are all
what
skills.
the great Michael Caine said. Just steal from the best people.
literally.
Truth. That's the truth. I was gonna put that in my speech for Saturday.
Were you?
Or my little because we're gonna be releasing my short film on Saturday. You're more than welcome to join if you would like to. If you're not busy, I know you're gonna be on the play, but we're gonna be releasing it on Saturday at TMC 6 to 7. I mean 6 to 8. I'm sorry, 6 to 8, and that was gonna be part of my speech. Now I gotta write something else. Great. I'm kidding.
Well, congrats. That's amazing. Are you gonna be able to be there?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop by. Yeah,
For sure.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it yet.
this guy.
I'm kidding. It's like right by my house too. On top of it,
You're busy. You're busy. You got a lot going on.
I got a lot going on. So let's start. So you went to Black Box. Where else did you go? You go anywhere else?
For training?
For training.
Yeah, acting studio is like my bread and butter.
That's the one in downtown, right?
Yeah, on Hubbard.
Oh, on Hubbard. Yeah,
'Cause there's another one that's kind of.
that one's terrible.
I haven't been, but I've only heard.
You went to Acting Studio of Chicago, right?
Yes, right.
The other one's called the Chicago Actor Studio. That one's. I got a sound. I got a sound for that. I do. That's you know what? Let me take that back. It has its uses, my advice for going to that particular studio would be to get what you can and get out. Don't stay there. Like if it's affordable, which is why a lot of people go there.
Yeah.
Right. And it can teach you a few things. Right. But I think there's better teaching outside of that. Like to me, the green room was great. The green room was
camera,
yes,
right?
wrong
Yes.
camera.
Oh man.
That one was the best one that I ever went to. Vagabond was good too. Yeah, but the first one, I mean, I learned a few things, but like it was kind of a weird environment. You know, I wouldn't recommend it per se. That's all you can afford, and yeah, do it. But beyond that, I think it's kind of where I don't know. So,
That's fair.
in your studies, what came easy and what came difficult? What became difficult for you? Like, what were you struggling with?
I mean, in the beginning, it was just everything, man. Everything. Like, oh, you have to feel emotions and then also show them
Yeah.
to people.
On
Like, that's
command.
not, yeah, right? Like, that's, I mean, even now in my real life, like, it's weird. Like, I mean, crying is great, but that's usually not my reaction to things. Like, when things get hard, right?
Okay.
Like, I'll get mad, but I don't really cry if I'm sad. But yet, something I've noticed with acting now is even places like that, I don't want to say it's easy to get there now, but I don't even think about it now. It's instinctual.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, and I wish I could be like, oh, it was just this one class, but I think it was an amalgam of a few classes and go out, even if it's like an understudy gig, just go out and now do it. You get thrown in the water. Can you do it? Can you swim?
Ooh,
And then you
sink or
learn
swim.
if you can or not.
I think you learn. The only way to learn things like this is to do them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think you can go take classes and you can learn fundamentals of things. But if you just take classes and you've never acted in your life,
Exactly.
you're just a teacher. Like you're not necessarily, to me. Yes, I guess you're an actor, but like if you haven't done anything, how do you know you can do something just because you read a book about it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I guess basketball, right? We've played a lot of basketball. You
Yeah.
played basketball?
I used to, but
You used to play?
way too many injuries.
Oh, way too many injuries.
That's what happens when you're not like 6'5" or whatever.
Or you could be like me and have a lot of injuries because you're that tall and you played every fucking day and now your
Oh.
knees are jacked up and your back's maxing. Norman, you got back problems?
From football, not from
I
basketball.
mean, you jumped higher than I could.
Yeah, but he was a lot taller.
How'd you land? Because that's what it is.
I wasn't a bad. I don't think I landed bad. I think it's just because we used to play outside a lot.
Yeah,
and I think that's the worst thing you could do is play basketball on concrete.
Not good on the knees.
It's
Not
it's
good.
terrible. But we'll talk about basketball in a little while. Let's
Right,
stick with
right,
the end.
right,
Let's
okay.
stick with the end. What were we saying before?
Okay, back to trial by fire.
yes,
Right. So,
So
there you
I
go.
believe you have to go out and do it. The only way. That's why I've always been like, people used to tell me, oh, you know, they're against people doing background work and this and this. I'm like, look, first of all, background work exposes you
To the
to
entire.
what's going on.
Yeah.
I would encourage anyone who wants to do acting, go be an extra or a background or whatever, and be proud that you do it. Not embarrassing, none of that. That is the only way you can experience the acting world. How many times do you walk on as a civilian? Can you just walk onto a set and just,
No.
hey, I just want to push this baby around in this scene? No, you're not. You can't do that. You can't even get close to anything to even see what's going on.
Right.
So if you want to experience to kind of feel what it's like to, you know, be on a set, go do the Chicago PD background. Go do the Chicago Shy background.
They're always looking too.
Yeah, just do it so you can know if you want to do this or not. You know, you see actors do what they do. Think about it. It makes you realize, do I really want to do this? Like, this is hard. This is not hard or whatever. I'm interested. Not or not. Or you want to, maybe you fall in love with production like Norman.
Yeah.
You know, like you like
Right.
cameras, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You never know, but people are so against it. Did you do background?
A lot of background work. Probably too much. Because I got to the point where I'm like, I hate
You were a
this.
regular.
I
They
hate-
knew you by
yeah,
first.
I'm
They knew you by your first name.
I'm like, I hate this. I can't do this anymore.
What
and,
shows were you background for?
Well, Empire.
Empire?
A lot.
Hey,
way too much.
I was on there
right?
too. Yeah.
So I feel like when you do Empire, you're just like, all right, I'm out.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad? It's
I
crazy?
thought it
It's
was
long
horrible.
days. Long days.
Really?
12 to 16-hour days every time you get called.
Wow. Wow. I don't think I was ever extra that long.
Oh,
I did.
Long
I
days.
did.
Long
maybe-
days, and they take away your phone.
yeah. They locked it up in a
of
little...
course, because they don't want you to leak out anything.
Yeah, for sure, because they did.
Of course they do. I was a background. Maybe I think I did like maybe 3 times before I was signed by an agency.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did one after because they needed a basketball player. And I'm like, they want to play me to shoot around in the back? Okay,
why not?
I'll miss work. Why not?
Right.
And I did that. And again, I've always had a lot of fun just being around it. And I think that's kind of what inspired me to want to do all this jazz, like my own films and blah, blah, blah. So when you were an extra, what did you enjoy or what did you learn?
I will say I definitely learned to appreciate, because I was like, man, standing around for 12 hours to just do what we have to do, go stand around more or go walk from point A to B. I mean, that's bad enough, right? It's like mentally, it's like draining in one way. But then when you're on set and you're, whether it's a co-star or whatever, you're also still on set for quite a bit. But you're not going to just go you're not going to walk from point A to B. You got to show up and perform,
Yeah.
So like, it's important. I think you need to like be aware of that and realize like, it's not just showing up for like 2 hours.
That job's not easy.
It's
I think
very hard.
people think that acting is easy or whatever. Acting's fucking hard. Because if
it is.
acting was fucking easy, everybody would fucking be an actor, and that's not the case.
Right.
Like that's hard. Like you have to really, really want to do this shit. Or anything that takes work. Right? Like production.
Yeah.
What I do for this podcast, because I do most of the production part, it's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
If that was the case, John would do it. And he does it. I'd do it. And that's okay, because that's our friendship, right? I got it. Like, I've learned that for certain things in life, you really, really have to love to do it. Didn't Kobe say something like famous like that? He was like, if you love the grind of it, if you love the pain that it brings, like with injuries or whatever, then you found what you like.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, you know what? That's true. Because this shit takes forever to do.
Yeah,
That was like that. I want to say it was like a UCLA coach that was talking about that. Like, you got to learn to love the grind, because life is a grind.
Correct.
Unless you're doing it wrong. If life is very easy, you're probably not living out to your potential, right?
That's a good point. Never thought of it that way.
So your production, Norman, how much of it do you do? All of it? Do you have a lot of help, or are you like me, a jack of all trades?
Jack of all trades, kind of do it all myself. The setup, breakdown, editing, all that stuff. We started collaborating a little bit more recently on this new project, but a lot of it was solo, just learning, trial and error.
That's what I was about to ask you. So you just decided one day, fuck it, let's do it. And
yeah, I was like, hey, phones have 4K quality. Let me go get some microphones and we'll figure this out. And from there, it was just fun. It was just a lot of fun.
I think once you find fun in it, then
yeah,
it's not working.
It's not a chore. It's not a chore.
Yeah, it's not a chore.
Because editing can become a chore.
Bro.
Editing can become a chore.
That's an understatement, bro. That is editing. Well, the podcast, I can get through a podcast pretty quick. And the reason why is because it's the same shit all the time, right? Roughly. Maybe your setup is different because you do multiples. But like here, it's like, okay, I know I have a camera looking at John. I know I got a camera here, whatever. I can handle this.
Yeah.
Take me a day. I'll take care of it if I take at my pace, right? The one that killed me right now is the short film, right? The short film was challenging as fuck. That's different. That's uncharted water for me, right? That's just
your first one?
So technically it's my second one.
Okay.
But this one was a jump in everything. Jump up in quality, jump up in time, jump up in actors. And everything went double the scale.
Okay.
You know? And me and Diego were on top of it, very green at all of this. Like we attended the University of YouTube to learn how to do all this. And if it looks good or if it doesn't look good, I guess Norman will come back and tell us what his thoughts were after next week. But I think, because my goal, if I tell you what my goal was, a lot of people make short films or whatever, music videos, whatever. A lot of up and coming people. And I've always felt that a lot of them need to work on their understanding of cinematography. Because there's a science to it, right? It's not just anyone picking up a camera. I'm Steven Spielberg. That's not how it works.
Yeah, you got to take them on a journey.
There is rules, there is techniques, all of this stuff that's already in place, that's there for you to use. And if you choose not to use it and it doesn't turn out well, then you should have used this part over here, or you should have paid attention. I always felt that a lot of people don't listen to rules that are in cinematography or whatever, and I think that's what causes them to have issues. You know? So my goal in my film was I wanted it to feel like a film. That was my challenge to myself. I watch a lot of people and I'm like, oh, this looks like you recorded it with a camera, with an iPhone. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but if your goal was to make it cinematic, that wasn't it, right? And I'm like, my goal was this. I feel like I achieved that goal. But then again, you guys are the ones that are going to tell me yes or no. But
because now I'm so curious about that, because I know exactly what you're talking about. You watch some things and you're like, oh yeah, this is like a independent. This is like, you know.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that's how people start and you learn from that.
But you can tell. And I'm wondering, what is it? Like, how do you get that cinematic look or feel?
Norman, you have an opinion
like
on
that?
The
production, what is that?
There's different ways. It depends on camera, depends on editing style, depends on the direction that you're given by your director as far as post-production. Like, well, I want this to feel a little more like this. I want you to... A lot of different factors that go into it. Some people really like that clean, like, super I shot this super smooth shot. Some people like that gritty, raw, hey, this probably did get shot off an iPhone.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not.
If that's what you're purposely going for.
If that's the look aesthetic that you're going for,
I believe every shot that you take needs to have a purpose. Right? So I don't want to say issues, but one of the debates that we had on set when we were filming my short film was my camera person, who's a good friend, and we talked about this. He wanted to fly the camera quite often, meaning he wanted the camera on a gimbal and he wanted to have free roam.
Yeah.
My debate was, we need to have a point to fly. Okay, we don't fly just to fly because it looks kind of creative.
Yeah.
The creativeness is the purpose of why we're flying. If we're flying because we need to chase this person because he's running, that is a purpose. It's not just because this person is walking and we don't want to use sticks because we want to make it look a little more whatever.
Yeah.
No, every shot has a purpose. Every angle that you use has a purpose. There's a reason why when you watch television, you watch any movie, the same shots are used throughout film, right? You have an over the shoulder, you have a mid, and you have a long shot. Those three shots are concrete everywhere you go. You can break them if you want. If you don't want to use them, you don't have to use them. But they're there for a reason because they work. Right? Everything tells a little bit of the story, right? So, for example, me and you are having a conversation. I'm always the villain. So I'm the hero, you're the villain.
Okay, I'll be the villain. I'll take
right?
it.
If we're having this conversation and we're doing over the shoulders or singles or whatever, and you're in control of the scene, camera angle is going to be lower on you to show that you're above me. Now, it's not specifically stated, but visually it's already understood, right? Vice versa. When the camera comes to me, the camera's more if you're taller than me, it'd be looking down on me a little bit to show that you have more power in the scene. That's what I mean by, like, these are rules and things that are already established that you need to research and learn about and implement.
I mean, all of that translates into acting for you, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah.
Being aware now of, like, this is a medium shot.
It also ruins movies and TV shows for me.
Well,
yeah, because he dissects everything now.
Fuck me, bro. I can't watch a movie to save my life. I swear to you.
What's the last movie you saw?
That I saw or that I enjoyed? So I think two different things.
Saw?
Yeah.
I saw. No, I'm kidding. Super Mario Brothers.
Oh.
I'm actually taking the kids soon. Was it?
It's good. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's worth $7, $10, whatever it costs nowadays to go to the theater. How much does it cost to go to the theater? Bro, for you, it's got to be like an arm and a leg, right?
I go
early, dude. I go early, like when the theater opens. Popcorn's not even popped yet. You know, they're still filling the top part of it. It wasn't bad. Okay. These are one of those movies, bro, where I'm like, I don't know if Super Mario Brothers has enough story to be
full-length feature film.
Yeah, like, how many times you can, I guess we had to save Princess Peach a bunch of times in the games when we were young, but
this is true.
I mean, literally every time she's in a different castle. Why'd you send me here then? And it wasn't bad. It looked good. It looked really good. And I think the voices were actually pretty cool. As much as people didn't like Chris Pratt.
Not being Italian.
Yeah. I mean, John Leguizamo had a big problem about that. Poor John Leguizamo.
I forgot he was in the original Super Mario.
I think
movie.
everybody would love to forget that that movie existed. Actually, we're going to talk about John Leguizamo because he's very upset right now about that, but we'll get into that.
Okay.
But it's a good movie. I think if you want to watch it with your kids, if you watch it yourself, it's actually not bad. It's just one of those movies that I hope that they don't make a sequel for. Like every movie doesn't need a sequel. This is one of them to me. Make one, leave it alone. Done. Now, if you're asking me, is it Toy Story caliber? No. Hell no. Like not even close. This is a popcorn movie. All it is.
Okay.
What was the last movie you saw?
Movie you saw?
Air.
I want to see that.
I haven't seen it either.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I really want to see that.
Every performance in it was good. Areas. I'm curious how you're gonna feel about Viola Davis being in it.
I love Viola Davis. I love her in everything. Except Suicide Squad. I just don't think she's good enough for that stuff.
It's too good. She's
too good.
Yeah.
She's a queen.
Yeah.
I don't even like using that word, but she's a queen. Legit. Like she's an amazing actress.
Though.
She should not be lowering herself to the level of John Cena. That makes sense. John Cena's not a good actor. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I don't ever see his movies. Get it?
How many movies has he been in though?
Who, John Cena?
Yeah.
He's got a few.
He's got a few, yeah.
I think his best thing is like the whole Peacemaker thing. People are saying that's like his best role. He's funny. I'll give him. He's funny, and he takes risks, and he kind of embarrasses. He's okay with embarrassing himself, which is cool.
Mm.
And he serves that comedy thing. Now I can't take him seriously though. Like I saw him in Too Many Fast whatever movies. What's the one he was in? 9?
Fast 9.
There's 9?
I think 10 comes out this year.
10 comes out this year, yeah.
So he was in the last one. He was Dom's brother. For some reason. I don't know.
I think I stopped watching after the 6th one.
I mean, how did you have a brother that we didn't know about for 8 other fucking movies? And you just all of a sudden he has a brother? What? Where was this?
Welcome.
Wow. I mean, where was it? Wow. All about family, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's good in like serious roles. I think he should leave that to The Rock. The Rock looks a little more better serious. You know, I think Fast 5 was probably the best movie because of The Rock, but that's just me.
Are you really into stand-up?
Stand-up?
Yeah. Like any comedians that you're like, oh, I gotta watch them.
Chris Rock. But I like older. I like older comedians. The new ones are weird because like I feel like you can't even really talk nowadays. Comedians are
as far as like censored their material?
Yeah, like I mean, I know they don't per se.
Yeah.
But we don't even really like get leaks of what they're saying because it's like you got to be careful what you say, and I don't think that's fair. Like you should be able to say what the fuck you want to say.
Yeah, I mean Chappelle still says whatever.
Yeah,
he wants.
But it's Dave Chappelle though. You can't cancel Dave Chappelle.
No, Chappelle. Andrew Scholes. I've been into
Oh.
stand up lately. Andrew Scholes. He's a wild boy.
Yeah.
He's a wild boy.
He's a white boy, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the one my coworker keeps telling me
Yeah,
about.
Andrew
He's
Scholes.
funny.
He's check out some of his stuff. He's pretty funny.
Who do you watch stand up wise?
Chris Rock. Dave Chappelle is like Michael Jordan of stand-up to me. I love Kevin Hart too, though. It's very different.
I wonder what's
but
more,
I enjoy it.
Is he funny because of the overall package or
It's
his material?
It's everything. It's everything.
I think you're super funny when you can just stand there and do nothing and just be funny.
Yeah.
Like that's a talent, right? Because Kevin Hart is everything, right? He's over animated. He's fucking yelling and doing this and blah, blah, blah. And that's funny. It's kind of like how, like if you ever watched Jim Carrey when he was
I was just about to say that's a good parallel.
When you watch Jim Carrey when he was young doing stand-up, like, was he really funny or were we laughing at all the crazy
mannerisms
that he
and
was
everything?
doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had some funny jokes, but like, I think we were really laughing at the stupid shit he was doing. Now, acting-wise, that's a different
The
conversation.
presentation itself.
Correct.
Yeah.
So like,
But like, look how that translated into movies for Jim Carrey versus Kevin Hart movies, right?
I'd rather watch a Jim Carrey movie, I think.
well, Jim Carrey's hella more talented when it comes to acting, I would say. I would say than Kevin Hart.
I mean, I'm on the boat with you. Kevin Hart has his stick, though, that sticks.
No, of course.
Like,
I don't know how much of it is a risk-taking thing for Kevin Hart.
What do you mean?
movie wise. Like the few that I've seen, I'm like, it's kind of the same thing, and it's also
It's the same
usually its
character
own
kinda.
production, right?
Ooh, I don't know.
Right, I'm pretty sure
All
they're
his
almost
movies?
yeah.
Maybe he's
like,
just signed with somebody.
but it'll always be like Heartbeat Productions, and
Oh, maybe. Oh,
and then
yeah.
you're like, okay, well, you have say in the script, you have a say in a lot of this, right?
See,
As opposed to somebody else casting you and being like, yo,
You have to do it this way. Yeah, he has some creative input.
yeah. I guess it's like do you think The Rock was the person who drowned Black Adam? Like, there's a big rumor that says that he was the biggest reason why that movie wasn't successful.
I couldn't answer that.
So I'll tell you. Did you guys watch it?
I didn't watch it because The Rock was in it.
Oh, you don't like it?
I
I mean,
mean,
I'll be very
Rock, The
honest,
Rock?
I just was like, this is one
You
of
and
those.
John would
like,
be good friends.
like, this is like one of those like at home. There's nothing to watch. You got like baby cousins over or something.
Yeah.
You put it on. You know.
I mean,
Maybe.
I ain't gonna lie. I watched it on HBO Max too, but is that The Rock is he's not a good actor, right? I wouldn't say he's a good actor. I say he serves a purpose.
Is he on the same level with John Cena then?
He's maybe
far
a
as
little bit
films?
higher
I
than
think
John
he
Cena.
serves a greater purpose.
Yeah, I think he's a
Yeah,
little bit
slightly.
better. He's got a little more range than John Cena, I would say. Not by much, but like it's like The Rock, Arnold are on the same kind of thing
Yeah.
than John. But above them all is Batista. I think Batista to me is the best wrestler actor.
Really?
Yes. Have you ever watched anything of his stuff
Some
besides
of
the Drax stuff?
the Galaxy stuff.
Just
Yeah.
Watch. I think it's like the Lost Cabin in the Woods or some bullshit that came out early this year.
Okay.
Watch that.
Okay.
He's actually pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying he's fucking Oscar winning.
No, but
Compared to the other
In that
ones, he's got
category,
fucking range.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
for sure.
he's Benedict Cumberbatch to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay, all right. That's
That's a bit much.
That's
I'm pushing
a little,
it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pushing him. I'm giving him some credit. I gotta give him
It's
credit.
a stretch.
Yeah. What the fuck were we talking about?
What was his pumping iron?
Oh, the one about him working out.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's the best thing I've ever seen him in, and that
It's
was
just
just him.
Yeah.
But that was the
No,
best thing.
no, no.
I
I'll
watched
tell
the
you.
whole thing a couple times. Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
John has that's under his pillow. That DVD is under his pillow, literally. Arnold Schwarzenegger, as much as I bash on him because I just like because John gets mad about it. I will say we can't deny his fucking resume of fucking films, right? He has a shit ton of fucking films, like a lot, and a couple of them are like classics per
Yeah.
se, right? So
The
like obviously the Terminator
Terminators,
ones are
yeah.
classic. The first two, not the last 12. Fucking like to me a classic, like Kindergarten Cop's a classic to me. I remember watching that all the time
Wow.
when I was a
So
kid.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Watching fucking what's the one where he's like a superhero? His kid wants the toy or whatever with Sinbad. And, oh my god.
There you go, bro. He's on it. He's on it.
Jingle
I'll do
All the
your
Way or something? No.
Jingle.
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man. Jingle All the Way was
Jingle
his too.
All the Way. Yeah,
Wasn't he in
but-
that too? He was Mr. Freeze. The Batman.
Did
Did you think that was any good?
Hell no, it was garbage.
Oh come on, that was not bad.
You like
For
Batman
Arnold.
and for Arnold?
For Arnold, I'm saying.
I guess. I
But
mean,
then
I guess that was the
compared to,
most
like,
character he
the
had to
other,
play.
yeah. But also, was he just like the perfect person for that suit? You just put him in, and it's like, all right, do your thing.
That movie was so hard to watch, and I literally tried to sit down. Like I was in the hospital for like 5 days, and I sat down and started watching every Batman movie.
Why?
I don't know. They were all on
already in the
HBO Max.
hospital. Like, are you trying to get better and get out?
I know. That's why I could not finish Batman and Robin.
You were right, by the way. It's Jingle All the Way.
Does Jingle All the Way?
Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was. Oh, it's not called Turbo Man. The toy is called Turbo Man. Right?
Yeah. He's carrying that red Turbo Man. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it is
Jingle All the
Jingle All the
Way.
Way. It is
There
Jingle
you
All
go.
the Way.
You were right.
Cool.
Ooh, Expendables. I did like Expendables.
There's a lot of them though, right? It's like 6 too.
Are they? Well, I know of 2. Well,
I know
there's
the-
3 for
He
sure.
wasn't in the original one. He was in the second one. If I'm not mistaken. He was in like Expendables 2.
Yeah, when they had that all-star cast.
Yeah. That was a big cast.
That was a wild movie.
Anybody hear about the Sylvester Stallone and his beef with fucking
Creed?
Rocky stuff?
What happened with that?
So in this particular case, and I think Sly is kind of I think he's trying to play this victim card, and I'm not a fan of that because, dude, I agree Rocky is you. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand. You wrote it. You made it happen. Props to you.
Incredible movie, by the way.
It was. You sold it, though. You sold it to a company. Okay? What that means, and if your contract has expired, because I think he sold it in the very beginning. I think he sold it in the very beginning. Like, he's like, the rule was, if you let me act in it, then I'll sell it to you. Right? Cool.
Okay.
But he had like a clause in there where he had to be involved. Obviously, we had 7 sequels of just Rocky, or 6 sequels with just Rocky, right? Somewhere along the line there, his clause of being involved in story and all that stuff lapsed. Okay?
Yeah, so he didn't have any creative rights.
He has no creative rights.
Yeah.
That's, I think, where the problem is. Dude, if you're going to bitch about creative rights, then you should have not sold your creative rights away. You sold it to somebody. You have no say in this anymore. And I think the company gives them the benefit where, like, if you want to be involved, you can be in it. But we're going to go the way that we want the story to go.
The direction, yeah.
And he didn't want to push the story that way. So he got upset.
So he pulled out.
And he pulled out.
Yeah.
So whose fault is it? It's not the company's fault.
Is it
It's
true
his
that
fault.
he pulled out thinking that it was going to flop without
Yes.
him?
Yes.
Well,
And
I mean,
that turned out
made your own
the
bed.
quite opposite.
Oh, that's wild.
And I'm not saying, like, I get it. I think even with this situation where they don't like each other, if Sly was to say, well, you know what, I'm going to come back, I in my opinion, the production should open the door for him because he is that franchise. I don't care if it's about Creed anymore. He is that franchise. Okay. I think they should still let him in. But he needs to stop going on interviews saying how they mistreated him or whatever and this and this. You sold it, bro. It's like I'm pretty sure Henry Ford doesn't own. I mean, Henry Ford's dead, but like he's not bitching about where Ford went,
Right?
where the fuck Ford went. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't own it anymore. Like what the fuck you want? Yeah, it still has your name, I guess, tattooed on it, but it's not yours.
No, and if he wants to come back, is he going to get to do what he wants? Probably not.
No, and he shouldn't because it's not his fucking property. Once it's his property, if it's your property, you can say whatever you want. Like on this podcast, I can do what I want. It's fine. And now if I go on your podcast, I can't go to your podcast and then say, oh, no, you know what? We're going to change this camera and use mine. I can't do that because it's not my.
I'll probably still love him.
Nah,
I love him.
Nah. I would never, first of all. Did you watch Creed 3?
Not the latest one, no.
Latest
Newest
one.
one.
Yeah, it's the
I
latest
haven't
one.
seen that
I've been
one.
dying to watch it.
How many Creeds do you think they end up making?
6.
Oh,
This is one of those other movies where I'm like, do we really need this many? Like in reality.
No.
As great as Rocky 1 was, and I would say Rocky 2, 3, 4,
yeah.
and then 5 was
4.
bad. And 6 wasn't horrible. Rocky Balboa wasn't bad. I thought that was a good way to end, I would say.
Yeah, I thought
As
it was
compared-
over at that point.
He just wants to get back in the ring. A lot of movies do that though, but then the bad thing is that they never meet up to their sequels. I mean, they never meet up to their originals.
Right.
How many sequels do you know of? Name me a sequel that was just as good or better than the original. I know of one, Terminator 2.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
A
one.
Godfather.
I like part 1 better.
Part 1 better. I love both. That I'm just.
I think they're both good. But I think the fact of having Brando.
Dark Knight.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good
That's
one.
a good one. So we have 2. Let's try to get one more. Sequel wise. And I don't even think they
That
match
stand
up.
out like that? No.
I don't even think they match up like either way. So like either they were material they were better or money they made more. You get what I'm saying? It's like what was the Avatar was a good movie. Then the second one sold a shit ton. But was it a good movie? Was it better than the first one?
Did you watch it?
I watched it. I really liked the second part. It
Did you
just took you in a whole different direction, different world, different, like you weren't thinking of the part 1 and how it all, now it's okay, now we're going water. Now you're dealing with all sorts of new characters and new colonies and all. I was like, this is kind of cool.
But were you content with the first one? Did it need to exist?
Wait, did the second one need to exist?
Yes, the second one.
Oh,
You think the second one needed to exist?
Did it need to? No. I was okay with the first one.
It'd be like if they made a Titanic 2. Jack's Revenge. It doesn't need.
He's like a zombie
It
now.
doesn't. Yeah, he just comes up out of the water, just walking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a Terminator and shit. it does. I hate this world in cinematography now where everything needs to be a sequel. Everything needs to be a part 2 or a remake or a reboot. And this, like, we don't need this fucking shit. These things were perfect. Leave them alone.
No, from the creative aspect, no, but from the money aspect and the financial side of things,
that's when I'm sorry, but we're sacrificing quality of these
quantity.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then what? So like all these Disney remakes, do we need them? No. I mean, were any of them even fucking good? And I'm not even trying to get into the race swap and all that bullshit. That's a different conversation. But just, were they good at all? Name me one of the live actions that was good or better than the cartoon.
I honestly don't think I watched any.
Good for you. Wait, where's my applause button? You get an applause button because you didn't watch any. Right there. There you go. Good for you. They were terrible.
I really wanted to watch the Lion King one. Or no, the Jungle Book one. I think I wanted to watch.
Oh, that was one of the first ones.
That was one of the first ones.
One of the first ones. Yeah.
So I wanted to see if it was going to be worth it because I knew they were going to do it across the board.
I think the only one that was halfway decent was Beauty and the Beast. I think it was the only one that was like halfway decent, but they killed it for me too because they changed songs, and I'm just like, no, just.
Yeah, I was waiting for the original songs,
dude.
Different.
Like, how can you have Lion King? Right, and we all watched it as a kid, right?
Yeah.
How are you gonna remake Lion King, and then announce that you're not going to have the Be Prepared song that Scar sings?
Yeah.
You're not gonna have it, and then people bitched about it. They included it and they half-ass it, and it was terrible. Why are you doing this? Make something.
Were they
new.
just making it for all of us to go? Because that was our generation of growing up with the
guess,
cartoon movies. That'll get us back and get our kids involved.
Here's the only thing I would argue. If at that time in the mid 90s, those movies, all these movies that we know of in 2D, would have been like what they are now. I mean, if you think about it, if you think of Lion King, mind you, it was a CGI movie, even though it was live action.
Yeah,
it's all fucking CGI. Right? That's how Lion King would have looked if in 93 they would have had the technology.
Not the same.
It would not have been a cartoon. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It would have been like that. But the problem is with live action is that certain things don't translate. Animals that are in cartoon form do not translate into real life because they're not realistic.
The realistic talking ones, I was like, that's awkward. That's weird.
Did you guys see the trailer to the Little Mermaid thing?
No.
Sebastian the crab.
No.
Looks like an actual crab, right? Like a real crab. Like he's supposed to look like a real crab, right?
Yeah.
It just looks stupid.
Kind of like that big conversation they had about the Sonic.
Where they and that was a big redo.
Yeah, they redid that entire look. Shit. Yeah.
You remember the original trailer?
Yep.
Before they changed it?
It was so awkward.
I didn't watch it. Did you?
You didn't watch Sonic movies? Those are not bad.
No, they're not.
They're not. I mean, they're not Oscar winning, but they're not bad. I mean, if you like Jim Carrey, he's funny in that.
He is.
He's good in that. Speaking of Sonic, what's your favorite gaming console? Let's go into gaming real quick.
Gaming console.
What do you remember playing the most? Like I remember playing obviously like Nintendo to me. Like since I watched the Mario movie recently, I was like, that rings a bell. That rings a bell.
I mean, probably Xbox.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the one you remember the most?
Norman. I mean, like N64, but like,
I was gonna say the same thing.
But I think the number of hours I put in, it's got to be Xbox probably.
Norman?
Yeah, no,
you were a gamer?
No, I really wasn't. Like I was into Nintendo because all my cousins were. So whenever we'd go over, it's like Nintendo battles, and then I went N64 with like 007, GoldenEye. Everybody played that.
Yes. You know they remade that game. They have it not remade. They re-released it. You can actually play it on Xbox.
On the new
Xbox Live. Yeah, the new consoles. It's hard to play though.
I can imagine everything's gonna be different. But that started fights and wars. This is so great. But N64 was the last thing I owned gaming wise.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn, you're out of date.
No, I was just way too into sports.
And so was I.
Yeah, so I was playing in leagues, practicing. Yeah, I just did not game. Plus, my parents weren't into the whole gaming thing, so
that's probably better.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, right. He's like,
I mean, I don't. The funny thing is, I don't play games. I mean, I have an Xbox now. what's it called now?
I can't play them anymore. That's the thing I
I get
realized.
fucking bored.
Like I'm like excited, and then an hour and a half, and I'm like, you know what?
That's how it is
This
with me
is
now.
boring, man. Am I too old? Maybe, I don't know.
I'll tell you what I think happened. Yes, part of it is we got older, I would say. Two, it's different now. So like I'll still play Halo. Halo's still kind of my game. Whenever the new one comes out. When I was playing Halo when the Xbox came out and it first started going online,
Yeah.
people would actually talk shit. And it was fun. You could talk shit to people.
Right.
Right? Like I remember when the headsets first came out, bro, and
It was.
people were in their private chats like they are now and with their team and whatever the fuck these kids are doing nowadays. Everybody in the lobby would just start talking shit. You couldn't fucking hear over half the shit.
No.
And that was entertaining. Right? The end of the game, forget it. It was just like Teabag City over here, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
Wait, what happened now?
Now no one says anything because most of the time, if you're chatting, you're in a little group. You're part of your team. So that's private.
Okay.
They usually are in private chat.
So it's not a free for all, everybody.
Right. So nowadays you'll go through 20 games of Halo and no one says a word. It's just crickets.
Yeah, it's
And like
weird.
that's kind of boring.
Oh,
That is boring.
weird.
I know it's a kind of a stupid thing to be talking shit because I'm pretty sure somebody somewhere's gonna be like, you guys are a bunch of fucking bullies. But that's what it was.
No,
That's
listen to
what it was,
Fortnite
like.
for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's like a 5-year-old just yelling.
Yeah,
at you,
and
bro.
that's
Yeah.
Like Rafi's kid. One time I was playing. We have a friend a mutual friend, and Rafi was trying to get me to play Fortnite. He's like, bro, download. It's fun. It's fun. Man, Matthew was just building shit in the sky and just fucking knocking me down like I was some punk. And I'm like, this is why I don't play this shit, bro. I don't need freaking 10-year-olds freaking embarrassing
Talking
me.
about my mama and
Man,
stuff.
bro, get out of here. Meet me in the Halo game, bro.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't even know why I brought that up. I agree with you. I think I'm just getting to that point in my life where I'm
Competitive
like,
games,
it's
though.
fucking boring.
I could play that. Like if you have
Competitive
people
game?
over, like how it was with Nintendo, right?
Yeah,
Playing,
when
like
you have people over, like
Super Smash Bros. And that kind of.
You can't even do that shit
Yeah.
either because you
Right.
can't play multiplayers on home consoles anymore.
Super
You can't
Smash
do it. The only
Bros,
games you
that's
can
it.
still do it is the fucking like sports games.
Yeah.
That's it.
that's what I used to mainly
That's
play.
about it. Yeah. Madden and NBA.
So, who's your favorite actor?
Love the segue.
I know. I'm random. I'm all over the place.
Man, I really like Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. What's
Yeah.
your best role from him that you like? Say American Psycho. That'd be pretty.
American Psycho. No, but dude, like everything he's in it's maybe it's not quite Gary Oldman,
I'd say it's pretty close.
but it's
I'd say it's
damn
pretty
close,
close.
man. Every role is like, because there's so many that I just love. But American Psycho is something that I just love, I will say.
I'm trying to think of the one I like the most of him. I would say he played.
Like, even what was it, Ford versus Ferrari? Even in that, I was
man,
like,
yeah.
I was like,
Fuck
what? I
yeah.
didn't even I didn't need that. But
I think
there
that was
you go.
another underrated film,
Right?
in my opinion. Like a lot of people that didn't like. No one I knew was like excited to go watch it.
No, I wasn't.
I never went.
I wasn't exactly. I was like, why not?
But I think it was
And
playing on
then-
TV one day, and I
So
sat down
good.
and watched it. And I couldn't turn it off.
Yeah.
I couldn't turn it off. It was actually fucking good.
And like he went in on that for what?
That
Because that's
dude,
his purpose. Like that's his thing.
you know what?
He does it for himself in a way. You know, it's not.
I think he also did really well in that last Thor movie too. He was
Last
the villain, the Thor.
Oh, wait.
Love,
What
and
was
Thunder.
that?
Love and Thunder.
I
It was a
definitely
terrible
did.
fucking movie.
Bad movie.
Terrible movie, but he did well. I think Christian Bale did well. Out of everyone there, I know it's just a fucking stupid movie, but he did. I think
Horrible
he does well in most of the things he done. He also played John Connor.
John Connor.
He's in Terminator Salvation.
Yeah.
And he got crazy with the light guy.
I was gonna say I remember
Yeah,
that
behind the
audio
scenes,
clip.
the
more than
audio
I remember
clip,
the
yeah.
movie.
So since we're all kind of involved in acting a little bit, right? All of us, right? Do we understand how mad he got now? Like, do we understand why he blew up? Have you guys ever heard the entire thing? Everyone's heard it, right?
I've heard it. I haven't heard it in a while.
Okay, so he goes off on the light guy
Yeah.
because he's walking around in the background behind Bryce Dallas Howard
Okay.
on the set of Terminator Salvations. And he gets distracted and he just flips out on this dude, right? Just laying it into him, right? A lot of people criticize them for being fucking, having anger problems,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Like, what the fuck, bro? It's just a movie, right? When I started to get into his acting stuff, I've learned that distractions are fucking terrible when it comes to acting. And people don't realize it until you start to notice it on your own.
Right.
I'm not excusing his behavior.
Right.
But I understand.
Oh, yeah.
I understand why he went crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially if you're really like, he's a very,
You
we know him to be a
he-
very like
Yeah.
dramatic actor. He fucking gets into his fucking roles like legit. And you want to distract that
even
man?
for Terminator, you know that.
Bro, I mean, I
So
again,
I get why he had that reaction. Obviously, I still don't think that was the way to handle it.
no, of course not. I mean,
But
Tom
like-
Cruise
but
is
like,
guilty of
I
that
get
shit
it.
too. He's
Tom
another one.
Cruise.
He's
What do
another one.
you
He's
love
that-
Tom Cruise?
No, I don't love Tom Cruise. He's another one that fucking blows up too. I don't understand it. I mean, his is weird. His is more, I don't think it's as like easy to understand as Christian Bale's. Because Christians, to me, like John, one time we were filming something and John just starts laughing in the background. And I was pissed because like I can't get through my fucking life because he's just giggling in the background, right? Or he's just whatever. He couldn't stop. So like I had to get up and take a walk because like I need to because like I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Wow,
frustrating.
okay.
It gets frustrating. I could totally get it. Like, and don't get me wrong. Even on the set that the last one, there was times where we were laughing or whatever, and I would get frustrated because I'm like, okay, we need to bring this in. I understand something happened. It was funny. I get it, but we got to be able to
Reset.
yeah. And if we can't do that, then you shouldn't be here.
Oh, it's like that.
For some, yeah.
I mean, mind you, this is I wouldn't put it that way unless money was involved. Like if I have a deadline and money is involved, yes, we need to laugh, good time, but we need to focus.
But like we need to do the work.
Correct.
Right.
We can't be fucking laughing for 2 hours. We can't do that. We need to,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And
We
I-
feel like that for 2 hours.
Oh, it felt like 2 hours.
Oh my God. It's like
Felt
2
like 2
minutes.
hours.
And he's like, it was like 2
No,
hours.
it was not.
It was like 2 hours. He wouldn't stop.
So I think Christian Bale is a very fucking talented individual.
Gary Oldman is your favorite.
Oh, Gary Oldman's awesome. He's a god.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
You like Ryan Reynolds?
Ed Reynolds.
I like Ryan Reynolds.
I go more towards either sci-fi, nowadays, sci-fi or comedy.
Comedy. Yeah.
Fucking Ryan Reynolds nails it every time.
I think
Incredible.
the only thing about Ryan Reynolds is like I feel every time I see him now, it's just I think because he did Deadpool so distinctively,
Mhm.
and every role I see him, it's just Deadpool. Just
It's Deadpool
less
acting as
funny.
somebody else.
yeah,
Right,
like
right,
yeah. It's
right.
like I just feel like he's just a sword's gonna come out of somewhere and just kill somebody. I was watching a show on Netflix he was on during the pandemic with like a kid. Like he was he came back in time and like he was the older version of the kid.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yes. I don't remember what the name of it was. but
I was
yeah.
watching that for a little while, and I'm like, every time he says something, I'm just like, he's gonna stab the kid with a sword. I see it, it's coming.
Wow.
It's coming. I know it's coming somewhere. He's talented. I feel like he falls into. We were talking a little earlier about sitcom actors. He's kind of he's in that kind of bad situation where like he did Deadpool so well.
that it's like that's the thing you think
That's what
of
you
when
see.
you think of him now.
Now, mind you, I'm pretty sure Deadpool will last him the rest of his life
Yeah.
financially. I think he'll be fine. But
Easily.
if you want to do something else, he might need to transition himself a little bit. You know, change it up a little bit. Even though he does very well as Deadpool.
Wait, okay, so if you know, when money is involved for like even for acting stuff, you can get very serious about it. Are you a competitive person?
Oh yeah,
How so?
I'm a super I'm competitive.
Like as an actor.
As an actor,
Yeah.
yes and no, but I know my place as an actor, right? So like, I'm competitive, but I'm not gonna steal scenes from J.K. Simmons.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do that, right? Because
Yeah.
the film's not about me.
Right.
You know, the film's about that person.
Right.
But I'm competitive in the sense of I need to make sure I am prepared. I am ready for what I need to do, right? And distractions and occurrences and all that stuff that's secondary. Yes, I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But in my control, I need to be able to minimize those events.
Right.
Especially where I am now as an actor, because I'm green, right? I'm super green. So like I can't go on Chicago PD and start causing jokes and ruckuses and blah blah blah. I'm not there yet. I'm pretty sure Leroyce Hawkins can do it.
Yeah.
But he's the main cast member. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. I can't do that. You know?
Mm.
Until I'm at that level, then I guess, or Christian Bale level, I can do whatever I want. But then, so now it's like, I got to be on point. I got to be ready, make sure I'm ready. I don't want to cause negative thoughts about me that this guy talks too much, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because they will replace you quickly.
That's the point. They're not going to replace Leroy. They're going to replace me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think competitive for me in acting is making sure I'm ready to, if it's like audition stuff like that, obviously it's to compete against other people because you're, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think of that. And I've been hearing that a lot lately where people will be like, oh, like, you know, like just even if it's talking about how, oh, you and this person are so friendly. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so. And they're like, that's your competition. Like, you guys go up for the same roles. And I'm like, what?
But that's like basketball.
But like, exactly. Like, we can be in the game. Yeah, fine. It can be all whatever.
Correct.
But then
we'll high five after.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, everyone I know that I've played basketball with, somewhere down the line, I've probably gotten into some kind of argument playing sport.
Yeah, he wanted to kick my butt a couple times.
No, get the fuck out of here. And I'm not really aggressive in that sense. Like, I'm competitive. Like, I'll play against anybody, but like, I'm not really a trash talker. That's not my.
That's me.
It's not my cup of tea.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm obnoxious.
Are you?
Horrible. The worst.
Yeah.
You're just letting it go.
Worst.
Really?
Yeah,
You don't even look at it at all.
That's why it's the worst because you don't even see it coming.
Right.
You're like, really? And the thing is, like, I back it up too, so it makes it that much worse.
Got to get a rim outside.
You know what I mean?
Should.
But no, but like
extra insoles for you though. Extra insoles.
Holy shit, man! I mean, I don't know. I've never been that type of person when it comes to like basketball.
I don't know why.
Yeah, no, but with acting, like I've gone in for I think 2 auditions. One of them wasn't prepared at all. Didn't take it serious. He hates that because I got called in by a casting director. You look great. We use you featured here. We're gonna have you go audition. I was like, oh, okay. Still very green. I went from walking in the background just across it, like, hey, there goes my ear, to then being driving Lucius on Empire around because I was his personal bodyguard.
Right, yeah.
So
that's that one clip I think I seen of you.
Yeah, a bunch of FaceTime that I got for Empire, and now it's like, no, now you have to stand here. No, now you have to be here. Now you have to be. Somebody's gonna step in for you to block your light. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. When I went to the first interview, bombed it. Horrible. Wasn't prepared for it mentally but everybody in that room, nobody's talking to each other. Everybody's kind of just going over their lines and just really acting it out. And I'm just like, oh, wow, these guys are serious. Nobody's talking to anybody. There isn't like this friendliness. I'm like, oh, I wasn't ready for this. That caught me off guard because I thought everybody was just going to be talking like, oh, what have you been on? What have you been on? I was mistaken. I wasn't ready for that.
Wow. And he says he doesn't trash talk. I don't believe it.
That's my trash talk right there.
Yeah, no. I got so nervous. I was like, I was not prepared for this. You guys got this.
So that was your very first experience?
My very first experience, yeah.
Wow.
And they were very quick. I came in, I was done in 2 minutes, and they were like, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
It's like, oh, okay. Bye. Nerve-wracking. So if anybody's ever going to go for an audition, take it serious.
Oh, yeah. You have to.
Take it very serious.
You have to. Your first experience on...
You
were on the same one, right? No, you were, when you actually got on one of the shows. That's a background or an extra or whatever.
God, I mean...
Everything you dreamed it would be?
Well, I'll tell you right now, this is something for a pilot that we just shot. I ended up getting a co-star for it, but it was like the most roundabout way. It was like getting called in to do something way more major for it in Chicago, like through a Chicago casting office. And it progressed to like, higher levels of it. And then ultimately just crickets. And then I'm like, okay, cool. 2 weeks went by. Like I obviously didn't get it. They're probably not going to tell me.
Yeah.
All of a sudden from the LA office for my casting, they hit me up for the same show, but a different role. Same thing. Very major role in there. And this goes farther and farther all the way up to like a director session kind of thing. And then I'm like, okay, all right, this will be a big deal. Don't end up getting it, unfortunately. All of a sudden, 2 weeks after that, Chicago office hits me up and goes, they loved you. They really, really liked you. The writer was like, I want him in this. We're going to edit this like little, like I had a role of like someone that goes in just gets killed right away off the rip, basically. That was my thing, right?
But they did it just for you.
But he changed it. So like I still get shot. But they like finessed it now. So I get shot and then it's like, oh, it's implied I die, but I don't now come back to life.
That's cool.
So it's like, I don't come back to life, but I faked it. And like, I bust out, run away, and it's like I can that way. Like if the show gets picked up,
You can come back.
I can be in it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
like, I really love the choice. And I was like, I did the dumbest things in that audition. It was worst lighting, didn't have my setup or anything. I was in Florida doing a play and then getting these auditions for this meanwhile. And I'm like, initially I was like, I'm not going to get this. Like, I don't have my setup. I don't have this and that.
I was talking to a friend of mine who's an actress.
Yeah.
And she was arguing with me back and forth about setups and how important they actually
Doesn't
are.
matter. That's what I realized.
I'm going to tell you what, though. I agree and disagree. Right? Because there are even famous people sometimes. Like, I think the guy who plays Shazam, what's his name?
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name, though.
He auditioned for a different role. He wasn't even going for the role of the main character.
Yeah.
Zachary Levy.
Yeah. His audition is
John's
basically
in trouble. I'm telling you right now.
Give me your resume before you
Right?
He was auditioning like in his living room. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think that you auditioning, like if I was to audition in front of this poster, whatever the fuck, this sticker, is that going to make or break me? Probably not. Right? But I understand why they say certain things. So like when they say in training, when we took training classes and all that, they'll say, you need a plain background, get lighting, whatever, just to make yourself look the best.
Right.
And that's the idea. I don't think is it going to get you the job or not? No. But the concept is to make you look as best as possible with the least amount of distractions so that they focus on you. I'm not saying you need it. I'm just saying I understand.
Yeah.
Because I understand why they need it. Because again, think about when you're filming something, right? We have lights. Do we need these lights? No. Do we need these particular cameras? No. The reason we have them is to make everything look better.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? What's important is the content, but there are ways to make the content.
He's obviously saying this for Norman. Norman.
I'm just saying it in general because it's
this.
true. Because
we need the lights. We need this stuff.
Oh,
This guy doesn't
Norman's the
need
good
it.
looking
John
guy.
too.
He's got.
We don't. We
he's
need
got
this
that
stuff.
look
Don't do
going.
him like that.
I need
These
a lot
are
of,
really nice lights.
I need
Yes.
a fucking CGI.
That's what I was gonna say.
Liquid metal face, whatever. I don't think you need it. Again, I don't to put a ball. I don't think you need it. I just think it helps you. It'll give you the best opportunity to make yourself look good.
Yeah, because put yourself in their position when you're picking out. Are you going to pick the dark, muddy looking, or are you going to pick that nice, clean picture that it kind of is visually more appealing?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, though. It's like if you're locked in, you're locked in. Is it going to be unfortunate if you had to shoot it on your couch? Yeah. But if you were in it and you got it, like you got it.
Most of the time, these casting agencies, they fucking already kind of have an idea anyways, because they're so the process goes, from my understanding, the process goes, let's say Chicago PD needs 6'3" Hispanic, whatever. So then they go hire their casting people and they go looking through all the agencies in the area for 6'3" Hispanic people, right? They go through the list. They see me and they say, okay, he's got a good look, audition for that one. So you got to understand, already at that point, they're just looking at a picture of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They already kind of have, okay, he can fit this role, blah, blah, blah. So they already got you in mind. Again, the concept is just to put the best version of you out there. And yes, you don't need anything. You can do it with your phone, blah, blah, blah. But if you can make it look better, why not make it look better?
Exactly.
That's just, again, my opinion. Again, we don't need to have, like, Norman would know because he's into podcasting. Do we need to have this microphone, short microphones, Rodecaster, this, blah, blah, blah? No, you can get away with how we used to do it when me and John first started.
Right.
But we get these things. How we started?
Yeah.
It's just a laptop and USB-C microphones plugged into it.
Nice.
They were like $40 each. They came with an arm, microphone, pops, windscreen, the whole 9 yards. And it did the job. But we get all this stuff because like he said earlier, there's a difference between sound quality and what it can produce. Can you get away with something less? Of course you can.
Yeah.
But if you can afford and upgrade a little bit, it's only going to make you sound better.
Yeah.
Or look better.
And the views that you're adding to that viewer's experience, which is awesome.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't know how we started talking about this.
No, but you know what? That's the thing is like that like self-defeatist attitude will be the thing to take you out of it. Like if you're like, oh, I can't book this because I don't have my ring light because it's at home. Yeah, you're probably not going to book it if you go in working with that attitude.
What is that
right?
imposter syndrome that everybody talks about nowadays?
I read this weird stat, and it was like 90% of podcasts that happen don't make it past
5 episodes.
Three episodes. It was 3 episodes, right? But then of those 10% that make it past those 3 episodes, 90% of those don't make it past 20 episodes. You're well past 20.
I'm almost at 100.
So
Yeah.
you're already in a very different elite level.
Sure. Elite, that just sounds so. I don't know about elite.
It's a nice word,
though.
though. It's a dope word.
I mean,
But
my
like,
basketball
you did it.
bag, my gym bag says elite on it. It's about it. I'm kidding. It's because it's Nike.
He's not kidding. He's not
listen,
kidding.
and that's true. I think, again, another of the lines that I'm going to use in my speech, and Denzel Washington says this. Without consistency,
From the Equalizer.
no, it's for one of his speeches. He did a speech for like a college thing,
Oh,
and he says, without consistency, you never finish. And he says so much in that speech that kind of like resounded with me, because it's true. You have to love to do this shit. You got to have a want to learn how to do this shit. Because you're right. A lot of people start podcasts and they quit because they don't see, for whatever reason, they don't see the views that they think. They don't realize how time consuming it becomes, because that's another big problem. I'm pretty sure Norman can attest to it.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes with acting. The same thing. It's like you can't just wake up and say, I'm going to be an actor. It takes work. It takes thought. It takes practice. It takes a drive to want to do anything.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to be a good basketball player, you got to go shoot free throws all the time. Blah, blah, blah. Why doesn't LeBron do it? I don't know. But that's a different question. Just saying.
all right.
Did you see who played the Bulls? Toronto lost, right? Against the
Toronto
Bulls.
lost, yeah.
And the whole thing was about free throws, right? And one of the big topics was like they missed like 19 free throws or some bullshit, right? And I remember people saying
a lot of free throws.
It is a lot of free throws. And they were saying, a lot of the shows were saying, oh, they're free throws though. Why don't you miss? Well, how can you miss free throws
As a professional.
as a professional? Norman, what's your opinion on that? Do you think it's
That's lack of practice. I mean,
how often do you play basketball now?
now maybe once a week.
Once a week. Can you hit free throws?
Oh yeah.
Do you practice like they do? Basketball?
As much as they do now.
No? Would you have made at least, if you had 19 shots, how many would you make?
I've said it since I was younger. If you're in the NBA making millions, you should not miss a free throw.
Thank you.
Yeah. But you know what it is though? It's for a lot of people. It's like with acting, you can do it in your living room, but take that same person, put them on set with with the lighting guy walking in the background, this and that.
I would agree.
Pressure.
I would agree if that was me and him, and I'll tell you why. Me and him don't play in the United Center full of 20,000 people.
Yeah.
That's different. They do that night in, night out. To
And
me,
that's when it's like you're not working, you're not training this part clearly.
or maybe they're just not shooters like that. I don't know, but I don't excuse professionals missing free throws unless it's someone like
Steph.
Shaq.
Though it's a free throw.
Huh?
Nobody's asking you to shoot like Steph. It's a free throw.
But that's my point. Free throws. Like I promise you, if I play basketball maybe 3-4 times a week, right? And I still play in some Sunday leagues and stuff like that. I am a pretty consistent free throw shooter. You put me in the NBA and give me like 2 months to get acclimated to like the crowds.
To that, yeah.
You can sub LeBron out and I'll shoot free throws for him and I'll make them. And he'll miss some. I'm just saying. But I don't
His whole play is so like not like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel that aggressive to begin with.
Who, LeBron?
Yeah.
LeBron's a monster though. That dude's
He's an NFL tight end.
oh my God, Norman.
Yeah, playing in the NBA. But there's moments you can see when it's like, okay, he knows he can do this and he comes down like a train, fine. But then there's basketball players who the second the ball was inbounded, they were in that mindset of like, oh, I got this.
They're built differently.
And that's what I'm saying. But that's a mental thing. That's not physical. Look,
Agreed.
he's a
Agreed.
superhuman practically.
The reason I say I don't excuse them is because, again, this is what you do for a living.
Every day,
Right.
day in, day out.
Every day for at least 8 months out of the year, maybe a little less, whatever. That's all you're doing. and you can't make free throws. I don't expect Shaquille O'Neal to make free throws.
I still expect his big ass to hit
not,
him too.
though? Why not?
He just had bad. He had bad mechanics to begin. He just looked. He had
But
no
free
mechanics to shoot the
throws?
ball.
Come on.
Yeah, you can't get a coach to help you with that.
I mean, sure.
Come
but
on,
I
now.
mean, when
You
the
got
ball.
3.
I still love Shaq. He's still great.
Yeah, he's still great. But when the ball is like the size of a 16-inch softball in your hand, it might be a little awkward to shoot it. But sure, I won't give him. But for the most part, if you're a guard, shooting guard, small forward, come on, man. Y'all, how can y'all hit threes, but y'all can't hit freaking free throws? That don't make no sense. LeBron is the guiltiest of that. Yeah. How do you make fucking fadeaway 3-pointers?
To be fair, he's like one of the worst 3-point shooters too.
He still makes them though. He still makes some. I don't want to say he's great. He's not a great 3-point shooter, but he makes some.
But he takes a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, Kobe wasn't a great 3-point shooter, but he made a lot of free throws. I would say he's above average free throw shooter. Would you say?
Oh yeah.
Would you say he's elite, Norman? Free throw shooter?
Ooh,
I think his career he was probably
not
like
elite. I wouldn't say elite.
I think his career was like at least 84%, maybe.
Like, elite
80?
it's a free throw. 90, I would say 95 plus, but to be fair, 90 plus at free throw line. There's nobody standing in front of you. You got 10 seconds, 12 seconds. What is it?
15 seconds.
15 seconds to line it up and take a shot, and you're getting paid millions. You don't miss that shot. It's a free throw. You don't miss that by yourself.
I agree. I could agree. I mean, I'm not again. What would you say is elite? 90%? 90
I would say 95.
95 plus.
95 plus to be elite. Yes, great. 90.
I mean,
who is 95 plus?
Steph Curry.
Besides
Klay
Steph
Thompson.
Curry, Ray Allen
Steve
maybe back in the
Kerr.
day.
Ray Allen, Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr was one of the greatest free throw shooters
Steve
of all
Kerr,
time.
That's true.
Also
Yeah,
one of the
that's
best 3-point
elite.
shooters of all time. Ray Allen.
Those are snipers.
Okay, but
probably
they're
Damian Lillard.
shooters.
That's
right?
but you said elite. Elite is a
Yeah, fine,
really
fine.
powerful
So
word.
I'll take
I'll
90,
come down.
A-. I'll take that.
And I'll come down and say if you're 50%, I would still say you're doing pretty good. If you're under
throw?
50%, there's a problem in your game.
For free throws.
Yes, you should be able to make one of two. As an NBA player, you should be able to make
that's
one
a
of
very
two.
low bar though.
And there's players that can't even do that.
That's true.
What is LeBron, like 70 something? Percent?
I think he's gone on a pretty good stretch recently, but I think he's been as low as like 60 something for supposedly being the greatest basketball player of all time.
Supposedly, I like how you threw that in there.
Oh, because I'm a Michael Jordan fan.
LeBron James is at 73%
right now.
There you go.
Yeah,
What is he career wise?
that's his career.
That's career.
73.
What's Kobe's?
Bryant.
That's the only Kobe I know.
Is there another Kobe?
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's
Sorry, I
another
was
Kobe who played
I was just
basketball. I
filling in
don't
time.
know.
Watch it not even be that much better.
Kobe Bryant, 83.
83.
10% better.
That's a lot better.
That's a lot better.
That's a lot better.
What the fuck was I gonna see? Now I forgot what I was gonna tell you. Damn it. Okay, now I'm lost for words. I had
LeBron,
something.
supposedly.
I think it's something about LeBron. Maybe not.
He just wanted to throw
Michael
in that
Jordan.
LeBron.
Yeah,
hate.
you just wanted to like throw a jab in there and then walk away.
Is that LeBron is not? LeBron is great,
Incredible.
but he is number 2. He is not
yeah,
Michael.
best,
He is
at
not
best.
Michael
Now,
Jordan.
okay, so one thing I've conversation I've had with a lot of people. Could you imagine LeBron's physical stature and ability with Kobe and Michael's mentality?
Oof.
That would be like if Shaq actually went to the gym and like didn't eat McDonald's.
No,
I think
you know,
Shaq could have
like,
been the
jokes
greatest
aside,
of all
You,
time.
like,
you know what?
seriously.
You know what it would have looked like? It would have looked like if LeBron James identified as a woman and went to play in the WNBA.
Joanna Man
That's
movie.
that's how good that creation would have been.
So, I'm not a LeBron fan because of that lack of that killer mentality. Because man, if I'm that big, I am scoring on everyone.
Right.
I am not losing to anybody.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that's what differentiates the elite, the super elite players, because he's elite, right?
Yes.
But then there's the God tier, right? To me personally, LeBron is 3 personally. If you ask me by my own biases, because
Okay,
I
who's
like
2?
Kobe Bryant. I'm a huge Kobe
Okay.
Bryant.
I think
fan.
you got Kobe 1.
I got Jordan 1. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid.
No,
I was
I'm not
Kobe
stupid.
at 1.
I mean,
Okay.
I got Jordan as 1, Kobe Bryant, and then LeBron. Now, factually, meaning evidentially
Like numbers.
unbiased numbers, to me, I still take Michael Jordan as 1, and then I put LeBron as number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the better overall player? Jordan or LeBron?
Who would
That's
I
when I need
rather
that.
have?
Dun,
I gotta
dun,
go
dun,
with.
dun.
I gotta go with Jordan. It's like, who would I rather have
Overall?
overall?
Okay.
Because
Jordan?
I would trust him more overall than LeBron.
Hold that thought.
But okay,
I would give it to LeBron overall just because of he can put a center in the post and work his way down there while Jordan had to work on the outside.
I would say LeBron overall is a better player for the same reason you just said. I would trust him more to make better decisions when it comes to passing and all of that. LeBron is a better passer than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan isn't passing the ball.
So that's the only thing.
but I trust him to get the job done. So I'm like,
Now,
it wouldn't
if I
even
need
matter.
2 points, then I'm going to trust Michael Jordan.
Okay.
If I need 3 points, I don't know who I'm trusting because they both, I mean, LeBron really can't shoot threes and Jordan really
But
didn't shoot
overall,
threes.
as in what? Like, I would trust Jordan defensively.
Well, my question was going to be twofold. So overall, who's the better player and who's the better player, period? That make sense? So overall, meaning passing,
the attributes, yes.
and then player, period.
Yeah. Player, period. I got to go with Jordan.
I'm saying Jordan.
Yeah, that's easy.
You're not stopping Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan was only 6'6", like 180 pounds.
6'5".
6'5"?
Well, they lie. In the NBA, they kind of give him a couple inches.
You came into the restaurant one day and I was like, you are not 6'6". 6'5".
Now, LeBron, on the other hand,
who else is 6'5" at this table, though?
I'm not 6'5". I'm just under 6'4", and they just measured me, so shut up. I did not want to see 6'4", bro. I don't want to see 6'4", but I still want to be normal size, man. I hate ducking under shit. Sucks.
Yeah, me too.
Life is
so hard.
Man, see, you guys don't understand.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Norman,
Combined,
you're pretty
we don't
tall,
understand.
bro.
I'm 6'2". You're up there. I look up to you. I look
Thank
up
you.
to
It's 2
Thank you,
inches. I look up to everyone. Almost everyone.
But
Damn
he
near
had
everyone.
more. But he had more hops than I did. That would piss me off.
Oh, that makes no sense. Yeah.
I was athletic.
You played
I was
football, right?
athletic. I fell in love with football, yeah.
You were a track guy, weren't you? Didn't you run?
I was really good at it. But
I
I
remember-
loved football.
You know what's ironic? Remember when I was younger, or when we were younger, you were always a 2-foot jumper.
Yeah.
From what I remember, I was the opposite of you, and I never really could get the hang of jumping off 2 feet.
Yeah.
And that's all I can do now. is jump off 2 feet.
Oh.
It was weird. I don't know why I couldn't do it when I was younger. I just couldn't either find my footing for it, or I didn't feel like I had any power to it. But the last couple of times I've dunked in my life, we're all off 2 legs. I'm like, I remember I used to watch Norman jump, and I'm like, that's kind of neat. Like jumping off 2 legs is like you really have to have power to jump off.
Violent.
Yes,
That's what I liked about it.
I agree.
That
Like,
1
this
foot
dude was-
finesse jumping. I
this
couldn't do
dude-
it.
Nasty.
This dude had nasty hops. Like it was sick, disgusting almost. But we were pretty good because most of the time we played on the same team. I don't think we played against each other too much.
Yeah.
We would just block people all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
you
was fun.
better. With
I
your
just
height.
wish I would have learned a lot more, the IQ wise,
Oh,
basketball
yeah, easy.
IQ. I wish I would have been taught more by coaches growing up.
Easy.
Because I was athletic, but we kind of just relied on that.
Right, that was our game.
I will say that is something LeBron is pretty unmatched in.
What?
His
IQ?
mind is basketball IQ is
Yeah,
It's
I think he's one of the most talented players to ever play basketball. I just don't think he's as good as Michael Jordan.
but like exactly. If
And
I had to
just
pick
by you
one,
saying that, you're already the bad guy. Like, oh, you don't. To the younger kids, they're like, you just hate LeBron. No, I don't hate LeBron James. I just don't think he's better than Michael Jordan. There's only one person. I think Stephen A. is like the one person who always says that. Like, everyone always pretends that we're saying that LeBron is like,
and
top
it's like
10.
a diss to LeBron. Not at all.
dude,
no.
he is number 2. There's only one person in front of him, and it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Is it?
Yeah. And the generations were always going to argue about it because LeBron is their Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was our Michael Jordan. Before that, there was.
That's an argument too, though, because
Wow.
our Michael Jordan was 6-0. Their Michael Jordan, LeBron James, is what?
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, but now,
4-9.
that's their Michael Jordan because nowadays they get participation trophies. We didn't get those when we were growing up.
That's a good point. It was win or bust.
Yeah.
Good
Now
point.
it's-
That's a good point. I like that one. That's a good point. That's a good
Hey.
point.
That's
That's
a
a good
sad
point.
point though.
I mean, it's a different time.
It is.
It's different times now.
A little softer
It's a little
nowadays.
softer now. I
Yeah.
mean, and that's another thing. Like, they say, could LeBron play in Jordan's era or could Jordan play in LeBron's era? I think LeBron would be able to play in Jordan's era, but he's averaging like 14 points a game.
Really?
He would have got beat up.
And probably gets into a lot more injuries.
He would have got his ass kicked a couple times too. I'll tell you right now, fucking any big guy back then would have literally punched him in the face.
Dennis Rodman would have guarded him. He would have scored 5 points.
I would say he scored like 10.
Do you think though, like he's kind of also in that way that kind of got screwed because of the time he came in? Because he didn't really get an opportunity to play against those guys, to play in that type of basketball.
I don't think he would have wanted to. He got to play 20 years now.
Yeah,
in large part.
Yeah, the longevity of his body and taking care of himself and load management. He's been able to play a lot longer.
Yeah, he would have got hurt back then.
Imagine
Shaq
Shaq meeting him at the rim.
Like, and you forget Shaq. Go further back when, like, literally you could have a fight.
Bill Laimbeer.
And everyone, and it's just, okay, everybody to your benches. Okay, bring the teams back out. Everyone gets one foul. No technicals, no nothing, none of that shit. It's just, everything was fouls. Yeah. Literally, they swung at each other, and it's just a personal foul. Nobody gets kicked out. Detroit had rules.
Well, the Michael Jordan rules. Yeah.
To just knock him out the air on purpose.
Yeah.
They don't do that now.
No.
I'm not saying they should.
No, they can't.
I'm not saying
it's bad for
should.
business. Superstars getting injured is bad for business.
Superstars not playing is bad for business.
That's a good point.
But aren't they sitting out now more than ever?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they just changed the rule. They added that you have to play a minimum of 65 games to get nominated for any award now.
Look up real quick. Look up how many games Michael Jordan, how many full seasons did Michael Jordan play in his career? Bet you it's pretty high. All 82 games.
Very high. By the way, my favorite player of all time, none of those guys.
Allen Iverson?
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman? Yeah. Dennis Rodman was a monster.
Favorite.
I got to watch him in person during the 96 run or 97 run.
The only thing Dennis Rodman couldn't do was really score efficiently.
But he knew that wasn't his job.
So well, man.
He was athletic as fuck for a small guy too.
How tall was he?
He was like 6'4".
Rodman?
Rodman was like 6.
Rodman's 6'8".
Was he 6? Was he that big?
He's a big boy.
I thought he was like big. Charles Barkley height.
No, he was just he was a junkyard dog on
or maybe he just looked really small amongst Shaq and those guys.
How many full seasons? How many games played?
Or how many times did he play all 82 games?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 82
seasons.
9 82 game seasons. I bet you if we look up LeBron, he doesn't have any. If that. Maybe one when he was young.
Yeah, when he's younger. Let's see. Who's your favorite player growing up?
Two. Jordan or Iverson always.
So you saw Air, right? Mm-hmm. Did you learn anything new about Michael Jordan? I kind of knew the story about the whole shoot.
Yeah,
I kind of knew that whole thing.
No.
I think it's interesting that Michael Jordan, that's how good Michael Jordan is, right? Michael Jordan hasn't played in like 20 years. And Michael Jordan never has to play basketball again. And we will forever know Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You know? Will we know LeBron? Sure, we'll probably know LeBron. But you can't even put those two on the same scale. Right. Like when it comes to influence.
One season or 82 games.
Okay. See? Okay. Then this case is over with.
He had a second season where he had 81 games.
And I bet you didn't Michael Jordan get hurt like his junior year? He broke his foot? When did he break his foot?
Yeah.
He didn't play. He missed like 90% of that season because then they had that big thing about letting him play and they made the playoffs and blah, blah, blah. He was on a time restriction. He said, fuck you guys. No.
Yeah. He wouldn't follow time restriction.
He wouldn't follow the time restriction thing. That's when the Jordan 2s were out. I remember those ugly ass shoes. Those are the ugliest Jordans.
No. The movie was way more about Nike than it was about Jordan.
Was it really?
Yeah. I mean, it was more about how much.
He saved Nike. He literally saved Nike. Nike would not be.
Paid them even.
Yeah. Nike would not be what it is today if it wasn't for Michael Jordan signing with them. Because I don't even think they were really big on that.
Them being so clear on like, yo, I believe in this guy. Like instead of paying out a bunch of basketball players from our budget, let's just pick one. We're gonna make the whole brand. It's gonna be his brand.
Smartest move
based around him. And everyone was like, and it was like one dude that was saying this. I was like, no, Jordan's one. We got to go for Jordan. And they're like, that's not gonna happen. Adidas is gonna pay way more. Blah blah blah. But he's like, I know it. I have a gut feeling, and I know I've had so many misses, but this is this is that gut feeling. We just got to go with it. And they did. And they spent the whole movie trying to convince through his family and all this. And then
And even
look what happened.
And even till this day.
What happened?
How many pairs of Jordans have you ever bought?
6, 7, or 8.
How many of them are
that.
modern Jordan shoes? Probably none.
Oh God, no.
He's like, oh God, no. Have you seen the new one?
No. I try, but
Well, I think the new ones are more. None of them. I think after like 15, maybe 14 is when they stopped kind of being a fashion shoe and became more of a performance shoe. So like I look at Jordans now. I wear a lot of Jordans playing when I play, but I like the 36 to me is one of the greatest playing basketball shoes I've ever played in. Okay, like I have like 7 pairs of them because I fell in love with the fucking thing and I knew they were gonna stop making them at some point. Classic shoes, I have quite a few. I'm a Jordan 11 freak. I like Jordan 11s. I love 11s. They're just too damn pricey, and everybody always got to have them.
Always.
You can't ever find one, and you got to pay way over retail price. You know, 13s are cool for me. I like 13s.
What are your favorite though?
11s. 11. You want to go color wise? I go colorway. Breads, bro. Breads and Concords, hands down. That's it. Breads and Concords, and maybe I'll throw in a cool gray. Maybe. I think I'm done colorways. Even though
Concords though.
Concords are fucking beautiful.
I love the taxis.
12?
12s. Those are my favorite.
That's like 98 playoffs, right?
Yeah,
97 playoffs.
Those are my favorite.
Oof.
When I saw those, I was like, that's different. I want those.
I think when I was a kid, the first time I saw the 13s, I was like, wow, those are neat looking shoes. Like seeing someone wear them, like the ones with the cat eye in the back, with 23 hologram in the back. And I saw those, I'm like, man, that's a really cool shoe that I'll never have because I can't afford them. Or my parents can't afford them. At least.
True.
But
I lied. That's it. That was one thing I did learn from the movie was maybe not so much the dad, but the mom. I didn't quite realize how much of a positive influence the mom had on Jordan in terms of like just see and again, I don't know how truthful it is, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty spot on.
I heard she's a really, 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 really nice person. The Jordan Foundation or the Jordan Company donates. Mm-hmm. So my sister's a teacher and she works at Jordan Elementary, which is named after the mother. So every year the mom comes down and they give stuff to the kids or whatever. So my sister's talked to her before and like she's like a very, very gracious, very giving person or whatever. Yeah. Which I think is awesome. And I think I wish Jordan would just give stuff for free. That'd be nice, but
he won't even sign autographs.
No.
Okay, guy.
But that was the thing, is like seeing just the way that she would even talk about Jordan. Because you saw all of these interactions from Nike with the mom rather than with Mike.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the movie, from what I heard. Like at all.
You'd see like the back of his head kind of thing.
That's okay. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I don't need to see Mike. But I know Mike.
The way she would talk about him was like, no wonder if this is how your mom or your dad or both talked about you, there's no doubt in your mind that you're going to be someone that's going to do something that's going to change the world.
I think that's awesome when you got backing of a parent like that.
Oh yeah, that positive support structure that changes.
And and he wanted to just sign with Adidas
badly.
You know, he was an Adidas guy. I remember his interview in some interview. He's with some guy and he's like smoking a cigar or whatever. He's like he didn't like Nikes. He wanted to be with Adidas or whatever. His mom kind of pushed him into signing with Nike, and that was the best choice he ever made. I mean, how much percentage does he own in that company?
Of Nike?
Yeah, I think he owns a percentage of it, if I'm not mistaken. Because the Jordan brand, obviously, it's still under Nike, but it's a separate entity.
They said something like at the end of the movie, they're giving out like stats and stuff, and it was like, I think it was something like they make like 10 billion or something like that off the shoe. And he gets like 400,000 annually.
A year?
Yeah,
for his name brand.
Yeah,
like it's got to be more than that now.
And I was like, I mean, that's what they said at the end of that movie, but I'm sure there were years where it was like,
I mean, too. he's got to be banking off that already.
But yeah,
5% on Jordan brand sales.
5% on Jordan brand sales?
Yeah, that's
on every Jordan brand sale?
Yep.
That's not bad.
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
5% ain't bad. I mean,
the 2022 deal alone was $256 million.
Ouch. And
A lot of
this
money.
400 was like, I think specifically just the shoes, nothing else.
And the funny thing is, you know what's interesting? No other player, there's a lot of players that got signature shoes.
Yeah.
No other player has ever done what he did. I mean, who else legend-wise has a shoe that we still pay for top dollar for today?
Nowadays,
Even when they retro the fuckers, like the Iverson shoes.
the
that came out.
Iversons were the only ones that
and
answered.
and I mean, they don't really sell like that either. You get what I'm saying? They're not a hot commodity. You can go to the store and buy one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like no other player. LeBron hasn't done it. No one's done it. Kobe was the closest. And I think it was partially because of his death. Right? Because he was a very popular shoe. He was a very popular shoe when we were younger.
Yeah.
Kobe shoes were popular. But the fact that he died made his shoe
Skyrocket, yeah.
go up in the sky. Right? But beyond those two, I mean, beyond Kobe, I don't see anybody else who's even playing now. Like, bro, you're the next Michael Jordan shoe.
No, the wild thing is Jordan brand putting other all-stars and superstars onto his brand. Like, hey, you have your own Michael Jordan
But
shoe.
you're still under me.
But you're still under
You're
me.
under me.
Right.
You know who had a problem with that? Dwayne Wade had a problem with that. When he
Really?
was signed with Jordan for a little while.
Yeah.
Because Jordan told him he basically told him like you got to wear my shoe first before I even put your name on one of my shoes. And he went with Converse for a little while.
Yeah.
And now he's with Li Ning or some China. I just ordered a pair of his shoes actually.
I see him on social media all the time.
Yeah, they popped up. I'm like, one of my buddies got a pair, and he's like, they're pretty comfortable. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll try it. If it ever shows up, I'll let you know. It's got to come from China, so I don't know. I think it just got delayed in customs right now. So, fuck, we've been talking for an hour and a half, guys. So what's your last topic that we'll talk for today? What's your goal? So if you had to say in the next 5 years, what's your goal?
Okay.
Where do you want to see yourself doing and anything new? And
Okay, so this play that I'm doing right now, that's going to open in like 2 weeks, basically.
Okay, say the name again.
HateFuck.
HateFuck. Got it.
I love it.
Got it.
It's great.
Got it.
So I'm Pakistani. I'm South Asian, right?
Okay.
I don't ever see scripts, let alone written by South Asian people, but that are just like not about national security or terrorism or something like that.
Okay.
You know, it's like such a small mold that we have. And so this play is not really about that. It's you get to see two brown people as just two people. It's not necessarily just about the fact that they're brown.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. And just the amount of stuff that we have going on in this show, I think it's, especially in Chicago, in the theater scene, you don't see that a lot. You don't, at least for me, you don't get to see my representation a lot.
Yeah.
Which I think you both can also agree with and understand and see for yourselves too,
talking
even,
about.
right? But we got to get you on a stage, first of all.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Just saying that terrifies me already.
Really? But so that, I want more of that. I want this play to be like, I want it to be that much easier for anyone else that even looks remotely like me or us to come in, because this show will do so well. It will have some of the best acting you will see. I promise you that. And if not, come watch it and you can talk shit to me afterwards.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, you said all this.
Don't watch the episode after we watch it.
That's what I'm saying. No, but for real, you will see that competitive dog in that.
Awesome.
That you don't get to see on the basketball court anymore at all. Never will. Now you will see that on the stage.
Right on.
Right? It's going to feel like these two titans just going at it. And so within 5 years, that's one play. But I want to be able to I want to focus on camera, actually.
Right on.
So after this play.
Cool. Norman.
Yes.
What's your, where do you see yourself? What's your focus?
In 5 years?
Here to 5 years.
From here to 5 years. I definitely want to have a team together as far as
We're going to bring
media
back the basketball team?
creatives.
Oh.
Oof.
Yeah, I was like basketball.
You mean product? Got it.
The way our knees work.
5 years.
We did a lot of
wheelchair
jumping.
league. Wheelchair league is what it's going to be.
Yeah, no, I really want to build I guess in a way a creative agency. Not creative agency.
Okay.
Backtrack. Media company side of things.
Like a production company.
Yeah, there's so many younger kids who are very bright and have so many skills that aren't really getting opportunities anywhere because you need 5 years experience or you need to have this resume.
Right.
Yeah, I want to give kids the opportunity.
Hey, John is in the house here. He's
We
gonna
did
have a
not
seat
talk
in the
about
back.
you at all.
No.
Not at all.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Continue.
I want to be able to create something where the youth can actually show off their work. So, and then hold workshops for them to learn more from other people that we've been able to network with. So I want to do that, and I want to open up a summer sports skills training type camp thing because I don't see a lot of that in the city anymore.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
a lot of
Awesome.
youth driven stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I guess for myself, I see myself
On a restore billboard.
next to Brian
Next to
Urlacher.
Brian
With him, though, sharing the same billboard.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh man, I honestly I had goals of doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So like I always want to see myself, improving. I'm an improved type, regardless. I've always been that way. I would love to see this production become more like, helping other people do it, right? Like
Yeah.
you said, people that don't have the equipment, whatever, I've always wanted to share this platform. When it comes to acting, obviously I make short films and stuff like that to give opportunities to others that obviously, we all need practice. We all need reel. So one of my goals is to give you a reel that you're proud of.
Yeah.
Right? Me, excuse me. Me and Diego, I'm sorry.
Love it.
I
love it.
apologize. Sorry.
Kyle.
So like me and Diego, like one of the goals for the short film that we did was because we all a lot of us work for real, right?
Yeah,
so if
right,
you're an
yeah.
up and coming actor, you don't get paid. You get a copy of whatever you did
Yeah.
to use it to sell yourself with. And if that copy's not good or what you did doesn't look good, you just did it for no reason besides practice, right? So my goal for this one was if my co-stars wanted to use it for real, it's something they can be proud of. And when people see it, they're like, holy shit, it looks good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. I want to see our production companies kind of move forward in helping people book gigs, because a lot of times, like you said, it's hard to get into the business, like,
It is.
Oh God, yeah.
especially when you're, if you're green, super green, you just start off, one-liners here, one-liners there, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you got to get your feet wet somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm looking at. Till I die.
Cute dad. Yeah, we're not that old. We're not that old. I know he likes to say that he's old on every other episode, but we're not that old.
But I want to say thank you for coming down. I appreciate you coming down here, spending an hour and 36 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock with us, and hopefully we'll see you again. If you give us some more information, me and John and Norman, we go check out your play.
Absolutely. I'll make sure. I'll
Yeah.
give you a link.
Awesome. Norman, I'm gonna see you again soon, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. Because Rafi needs Rafi. I talked to Rafi a couple of days ago, and he said he's down. So
I miss Rafi. We still gotta go hoop before
Hoop?
we do it. We gotta hoop. Yeah, we gotta
What is that?
we gotta relive some memories and then
John, you
we'll
gonna
come
hoop with us?
on. John's gonna hoop.
He was
he is.
already shaking his head. Like, oh.
But yeah, we're gonna schedule a podcast soon, so we can talk some shit about old times. Again, I appreciate you coming down, Norman. I appreciate the help.
Appreciate you
down,
having me.
Sure.
Absolutely. Any last words, guys? Any social media people can reach you guys at real quick?
Check out him on stage. HateFuck.
Oh, there you go. That.
HateFuck.
Yeah. And if you don't like it and you end up loving it, which you probably will, you can hit me up on Instagram at I am Faiz Siddique. So I am FAIZSIDDIQUE. And yeah, you can talk your shit there.
Spelling bee.
You want to plug yours,
Yeah.
your production and your podcast and all that?
OTN Presents. You can search it you can search my socials, just normanperez.otn, but it's called OTN Presents, and just giving people a platform, just like you said you wanted to do.
Right on. And if you need help on anything, you know how to reach me. You need help with anything, bro. I'm dead ass.
Yeah.
No, this is
That is-
awesome. Like seeing your growth, it came out of nowhere too. All of a sudden, I was like, in my opinion, I was like, what is this? Like, wow, like this dude is
Started talking about
consistent too.
Disney Plus and Storm over there, right, John? But again, I appreciate both of you guys coming down. We'll definitely keep in touch. And John, you got anything back there, bro? All right, guys, we're gonna sign out.
All right.
That's going to be our show for tonight. Like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, everything we said is in our opinion, and if you don't agree with it, what else?